I was joined by a retired Archbishop Teles from Pundu a few minutes ago, and he's of the view that even as we remember the lives of people who have passed on, in this case leaders, particularly Dr. Rupiah Banda, we should not avoid talking about even some of the demerits. One of the highlights again in his political journey, even after serving as president, was in 2015 as there was a stint for him to run for presidency again. That did not sit well with yourself and other party members. What was this series of events like for you as Dr. Nevis Mumba?
Well, first of all, you must understand that I've been in public life now for 44 years and experienced many successes, but also many painful transitions and things. I think that the decision by the late president to come back into politics was one of my most painful experiences of my life. I had tremendous and continue to have tremendous respect for the president, Rupiah Banda. And you can imagine the kind of respect that I had for him. And then when he said he was going to come back into politics, it was not a negotiated decision with me, who was president of the party. I think there was a desire by some people that were actually asking and encouraging to stand, and it had to go to court to be resolved. And that was a very painful, trying season of my life. We did everything we could try to manage that within ourselves. We decided to allow the courts to make a decision and determination as to who was the leader of MMD and who should stand, and the courts determined that. But that really soured our relations, especially after President Rupiah Banda decided to go and support the Patriotic Front after that destabilization, and I chose to support the UPND. So that the different choices we made for him to go to PF, made a number of our people follow him because he was the former president, and those that remained with us went to support the UPND because we knew that we were greatly weakened. So that's just one chapter in a book, and all of us have different chapters, some of them which are very sad chapters, some of them are great chapters, but that's just the way life is. And if you were to ask me, now, because of what he allowed you to go through, Nevis Mumba, or what he allowed MMD to go through, how do you feel about him now? I think that for me, in my 44 years of public life, I do know that there are ups and downs in life. We make some good decisions and some bad decisions, whether it's in our marriages, whether it's in the politics, whether it's when we are in government as presidents. So I do understand that as a pastor, that those were weak moments in our relationship, but the greatest phone call that I ever received was mid-January when President Rupiah Banda and I spoke on the phone, and I called him actually to check on him, something that I usually did from time to time. I called to check on him, and when I called him, I didn't know that he was in very bad shape health-wise. Somebody answered the phone and told me categorically that I could not speak to the president at that point. He was surrounded by his doctors and he needed time, and they would get back to me. But the president, Rupiah Banda, overheard my name mentioned on the phone, and he asked that young man to give him the phone because he wanted to talk to me. So he took the phone and spoke to me just 2 months ago. And he went straight to say, Mr. Mumba, I know you are praying for me. You have always prayed for me, every day. Thank you. So I was wondering where that was going. Then he said to me, whatever has happened to us in the past, it was never intentional. And I did not mean to do what happened, but I would like for us to face the future afresh as a team like we used to be before. And if we have hurt each other, let's drop it and move forward. So to me, that was one of the most healing phone calls I've ever received because of the respect and honor I'd originally given to the president And it became very difficult in between when that decision for him to run for president came and destabilized our very good relationship. So I can say he has gone to rest, especially as far as I'm concerned, with ironed out issues between the two of us. And I'm very grateful to God that he allowed me to be in this position where I can, with a free heart, bid President Rupiah Banda farewell. And, may God continue to bless the works of his hands.
Indeed. And with obviously his demise, meaning we only have one head of state, former head of state who we have alive in Zambia. And there's been an ongoing conversation, I'm not sure if you've come across it, but there's been an ongoing conversation on the title Father of the Nation, especially after Dr. Kaunda's demise. How important do you think it is for Zambia to have a father figure that can be referred to as Father of the Nation?
I don't know where this has come from. Father has only got one definition. Father is either niwe wafyala umwana, then you become a father. Or a father in the Catholic Church, looking after the flock of God. But this thing of father in politics, just because somebody has held public office, it's a very unfair title, especially to the one upon whom it is being conferred. Look, fatherhood is like leadership. It's leadership. President Hakainde Hichilema is president today. He was elected into office. He was not elected to be father of the nation. He was elected to be president of this country, executive president, who has been asked by the Zambian people to provide leadership for a specific period of time. Now, this thing I'm hearing that President Lungu is now the father, President Lungu has got his own strengths and his own weaknesses. And I think that President HH has the right to consult anybody over anything in the area they are good at. If, for instance, we find out that President Lungu, had a very good relationship with the Chinese and connects well with them, President HH could contact him on how do we deal with the Chinese and their investments and relationship with them. But he cannot, you cannot force him to be a father. Because a father, KK, fitted in that bill because independence came through his struggle together with his colleagues. And therefore, for me, we should drop this discussion of placing this fatherhood on anybody who becomes former president. I think they can be consulted in the areas in which they did well, and President HH must have the freedom to consult anybody he wants. And I think that President Levi Mwanawasa demonstrated that the reason he succeeded as President Levi Mwanawasa is that he discovered that as president, you have an opportunity to draw counsel from anyone in the country, not necessarily a member of your political party, not necessarily a member of your church grouping, but a president can have his hand in every pie. If there's a good guy in this political party, he can reach out to him because he's not running a political party, he's running a country. It's the same with advice. We cannot restrict President HH to one man to say that is your father who is going to counsel you. If they have never had a relationship in which they discussed matters of state together, he should not be forced. But however, the former president should be respected for the role he played when he was president. So for me, I would say let's drop this discussion. And if President Lungu grows into the role of father and continues to provide the guidance and being above partisan politics and begins to help the new president and speak on behalf of our country globally in a manner that we feel is truly representing us, maybe then we can confer upon him the title of fatherhood, although we don't qualify by the Vatican standards. But I think that this discussion is misplaced, and we should make sure that we do not create a position that doesn't exist constitutionally.
Now, Dr. Mumba, as you conclude, on a lighter note, we know that the demise is of Dr. Banda, who's from the East. There's also an ongoing tribal cousinship battle. Are you also preparing some powder to splash onto one of your tribal cousins during this period?
Listen, these chaps from the East have got major issues. You know, they try to change the rules of the game. When Michael Sata died, you know, town was white with these Bembas in white white color. We all became white men. And when we said, you guys, what you did to us, you get it this time. They said, no, you can't do that unless you give us chickens and money, then you can put, the powder on us. No. But these are traditional issues that really, as ghostly as it appears, we do have this special relationship with the Easterners, and we celebrate it in many ways. And it also lightens the burden of pain, of mourning. We are there for them, to calm them down, to let them know they are not alone in the morning. And this is just one of the actions that we have developed over time. So our colleagues from the East, please stand ready to be powdered as you powdered us over the deaths of others. You are going to go and wash it off, but I think it's not in the powder. It's in the relationship that exists between the Bembas and the Ngonis. And I think they deserve to be powdered.
All right, Dr. Mumba, thank you so much for joining us on the Diamond Breakfast this morning.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
All right, we're joined by the New Hope Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD President, in Dr. Nevas Mumba. Just remembering the life of the fourth Republican President, Dr. Rupiah Banda, who's also been party president for the MMD and Republican President, who will be put to rest this week, Friday.